my blood, with every breath in my lungs. Won't stop until I'm phenomenal.
What is up, phenomenal fans? I am back at it again with another video. Today, I am here to provide my reactions to Payback 2020 because for some reason, we got a pay-per-view. You'll never see it coming. Wait, wrong pay-per-view. But we didn't see this pay-per-view coming because for some reason, we have Payback 2020 with some random matches. Sort of, I guess, your little feuds are going on this pay-per-view, but I just got done watching Payback. Let's run it down. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's run down Payback 2020. So I didn't watch the entire Kickoff match, but on the Kickoff show we had the Riott squad defeating the IIconics. Woohoo, good stuff. We start off the main card though with the United States Championship match. There's my fridge. I am not surprised anymore. If you watch these videos regularly, you know that's the new thing. I think I exposed some of my wall up there. Didn't mean to do that. There, that's good. Anyways, we start things off with the US title, Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley. In this match, it's not super long. I don't even think it went 10 minutes, but fairly decent matchup. In the end, Bobby Lashley with the best name for a submission move ever. It's not the full Nelson anymore. It's the full Lashley, because that makes sense. At least the Master Lock made a little bit of sense. Bobby Lashley makes Apollo Crews tap out to the full Lashley, because that's what we're calling it now. Bobby Lashley is once again the United States champion. He's what, two-time US champion now? After the match, they're doing this weird picture thing. Like, all of a sudden it started like click, and then they showed a still picture. I was confused, and then it turned out that there was just a photographer taking pictures of the Hurt Business with Lashley with the title. Then Apollo Crews attacks the Hurt Business, gets away. I'm gonna get my title back, and woohoo! This isn't gonna be the first time I'm saying this. I probably just showed a little bit of green right there and I lifted my arm up. This isn't gonna be the first time I say this tonight. The feud shall continue! Lashley, though, is the United States champion. Next up, sort of a random one-on-one match with just a little bit of backstage build to it. It's Big E versus Sheamus. And this match was fairly good. I mean, you got two big, beefy boys just battering each other. Who doesn't love that? Big E and Sheamus, I'm showing my wall again. I'm exposing myself. But Big E and Sheamus battered each other in this match. It was really good. You can just hear the vicious hits, the vicious blows, the vicious strikes. Sheamus at one point hit his little, wasn't the brogue kick, it was more like a brogue knee. You know, more of a signature move, you know, that doesn't do any damage in 2K. But the brogue knee, you heard it. Big E hit the suicide spear through the ropes. Big E, though, caught Sheamus as he was going for a brogue kick, caught him, but the powerbomb into the big ending, probably one of the worst finishers in the world of pro wrestling today. 1, 2, 3, Big E with the win. Big singles win for Big E. High hopes for Big E's singles career. I'd love to see Big E in like the Intercontinental title picture and maybe even the Universal title picture before his career is over. But a nice big singles win for Big E in a pretty good match. Next up, another match that's sort of random, but it's got a little bit of build to it. Like, obviously, it's not just you're gonna have this guy face this guy. It's Matt Riddle in his first main roster singles pay-per-view match, going one-on-one with King Corbin. And before this match starts, they have a new backstage ring announcer, interviewer, whatever, we miss Renee. We got a new ring announcer, I keep saying ring announcer, we got a new backstage interviewer, broadcaster, whatever you want to call him. She was interviewing Matt Riddle and brought up a tweet that Corbin tweeted. I don't remember exactly what it said, but if you didn't see that tweet, go read the tweet. You might not get it if you don't understand, you know, like what it means, but just dang, Corbin. Anyways, into the ring we go for Matt Riddle versus King Corbin, and this match is a fine match. It wasn't anything too spectacular. You weren't ever going to get a technical classic out of Riddle and Corbin, but it was fine. It was more kind of just a TV match. This match could have been on TV. But Matt Riddle, floating bro, 1, 2, 3, clean as a whistle. Matt Riddle defeats King Corbin. Then after the match, Matt Riddle is celebrating his win, and out of nowhere, King Corbin puts Matt Riddle through a table with like a spear of some sort. It was kind of weird. But for the second time tonight, the feud will continue! Probably just saw more green. And since this is the theme of the pay-per-view, up next, for some reason, the women's tag team titles are on the line. It's Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, because all of a sudden they like each other now. They're challenging Bayley and Sasha Banks for the women's tag titles. And this was a fairly decent match, considering it was Nia and Shayna's first tag team match. It was just kind of a thrown together matchup just to get a tag title defense. This was actually fairly decent. It had a great finish, which I'll get to in the end, but just decent action between these four. And about that finish, Shayna Baszler, she's got the Kirifuda clutch locked in on Bayley, or I forget who was locked in on, but nonetheless, she's got the Kirifuda out. There goes the fridge again. It's 2 times today. But nonetheless, Shayna Baszler, she's got the Kirifuda clutch locked in on one of them. I forget who it was. My bad. The other one came in, tried to break it up, ends up basically putting in a double submission. She's got, I think it was Sasha locked up on the ground with like a leg muffler, stretch muffler. I don't know. It was just some fancy leg submission. While she's got Bayley in the Kirifuda clutch, ends up turning it into a double Kirifuda clutch, which then from there she ends up basically draping Bayley's arm over the neck of Sasha, applying sort of double pressure, applying the pressure from Bayley's arm, pulling on Sasha. I think it was Bayley that was the one that tapped out, but Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, yes, you heard me correctly here in 2020, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are the women's tag team champions. What a finish. Nia Jax is going crazy at the end as Shayna's just trying to cut a promo, but Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are the tag team champions. Next up, and oh no, oh, bask in his glory, for he does not have his old theme. If you didn't see the video I uploaded on Monday from Raw, Keith Lee does not have his old theme. They messed with his ring gear. Oh man, ow. But nonetheless, it's Keith Lee, who's got some pretty sick looking entrance gear. He doesn't have a skirt on. He's still got a muscle shirt. I'd love to see the shirt taken off. We gotta see the big boy. We gotta see Big E. Not Big E, I'm thinking Big E. It's more impressive seeing what Keith Lee does when you see the size and frame of him. But let's stop ranting. Nonetheless, Keith Lee, who's not in the skirt anymore, is going up against Randy Orton. And this match was probably the shortest match of the night. I think I saw that it went 6-7 minutes about. But what we had was pretty decent. Again, I'm just happy that Keith Lee's in some sort of ring gear that's not a skirt. I'm like burping inside of me. But it was probably 6-7 minutes. It was pretty decent action. Keith Lee and Randy Orton are exchanging the backdrops onto the announce table. And Keith Lee, my man, my boy, my limitless boy Keith Lee, who's clearly got a limit with his entrance music, picks up the clean win over Randy Orton, who's on a roll right now. Randy Orton's having the run of a lifetime right now here in 2020. It's Legend Killer 2.0. Counters the RKO, hits a Spirit Bomb, 1, 2, 3, and Keith Lee has just pinned Randy Orton clean. I was thinking they're going to have some shenanigans with Drew coming out of an ambulance and Orton gets distracted and then Keith Lee wins. But no, Keith Lee has just pinned Randy Orton clean. Oh, bask in his glory, for he is limitless. Next up, and what I would say is probably match of the night, at least up to that point, probably overall, it's the tag team match. It's the Mysterios, Ray and Dominik, going up against Seth Rollins and Murphy. This was really, going into it, the only match that had like a proper depth, proper story. Maybe the women's tag, just because the story of Nia and Shayna and whatever, but this is probably the only match that had good story behind it. It was, of course, a good match. In the end, Murphy gets hit with a 619. Dominik Mysterio from the top with a frog splash. Uno, dos, tres. The Mysterios are victorious. We're gonna get Ray and Seth tomorrow night, but I'm assuming it's the end of the feud. It's starting to get a little long now. This feud has been good, of course. Obviously, everybody involved, Ray, Dominik, Murphy, Rollins, even Humberto and Aleister Black and Samoa Joe, some parts have been involved in this very good feud. The feud of the summer, probably. But it's probably over now. We're going to get Rollins and Mysterio on Raw tomorrow night. I'm assuming Ray's going to win there and end the feud. But nonetheless, the Mysterios win. And watching this makes me think, I kind of want to see Ray and Dom win the tag titles, you know? And main event time, probably the most intriguing match of the night. Not that it has much of a story to it, but the most intriguing one. The triple threat no holds barred match. We got the Fiend, Bray Wyatt defending the Universal title against Braun Strowman. And the new teeth, the new client, well, manager, whatever you want to call it, of Paul Heyman. It's the big dog. It's Roman Reigns. And so the first entrance we get is the Fiend, of course, the lovely Firefly Funhouse, cutting into the Fiend's demonic entrance. There's 3, the fridge is back. But as I was saying, we start off with the Fiend's entrance. Braun Strowman jumps him in the ring. He doesn't have the fancy $6,500 title over his neck. He's still got the blue title. We all know that means he's probably going to drop it in this match. But Braun Strowman jumps the Fiend from behind as he gets in the ring. So we're starting things off with a brawl between Braun Strowman and the Fiend. Roman Reigns is nowhere to be seen. They're brawling on the outside. They get their announce table spot right. Of course, Braun Strowman at SummerSlam barely broke the announce table on Bray. So Bray Wyatt says, I'm going to give it a go. Uranagi puts Braun Strowman completely through the table. And so still no Roman Reigns as of this moment. They're fighting up the stage. It feels just like their SummerSlam matchup. They're fighting up to the stage. We get a nice bump where Braun and the Fiend go off the stage through a couple tables. And then we go in the ring, and for the 4th time in history, or probably the weakest one of them, we get a ring break spot. Braun Strowman goes to the top rope. It looks like he's going to go for a diving splash or something to kill the Fiend. Fiend goes up there, goes for a superplex, nails the superplex. The ring kind of half breaks. They did it again. They've done it with Lesnar and Big Show. They did it with Mark Henry and Big Show. They did it with Braun Strowman and Big Show. And for the first time, without the Big Show, they do it with Braun Strowman and the Fiend. It sort of half breaks. You get in the replay, you can see Charles Robinson try so hard to send himself crashing to the outside because for some reason, maybe it's because the Fiend isn't that much of a big boy compared to like Big Show and Braun Strowman and Mark Henry and whatever. But only half the ring really broke, but cool spot nonetheless. And of course, now that everybody is down and out, here comes Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman, with the contract, with his wreck everyone and leave shirts, not even bothering to put on his little Shield ring gear. Reigns signs the contract, comes down to the ring, pins the Fiend. Fiend kicks out, pins him again, kicks out, pins Strowman. Strowman kicks out, but Roman Reigns, what a heel. And then the Fiend clearly got jealous of Roman Reigns' new teeth, locks in the mandible claw, I can't talk again, locks in the mandible claw to the outside. Roman Reigns fights it off. He's holding his teeth like he was trying to rip out his brand new tidy whitey teeth. Then, Roman Reigns just low blows the Fiend, because of course he does. Spear to Braun Strowman, 1, 2, 3, and in quick fashion, Roman Reigns has wrecked everyone. He is left, and Roman Reigns is once again the Universal Champion. This is good and bad, because Reigns just kind of came in and stole the title, but at the same time, Reigns, he's got Paul Heyman, arguably the smartest manager in all of pro wrestling, one of the best, and Roman Reigns just came in and came out. That didn't make any sense grammatically. He wrecked everyone. He left with his Universal title. What an ending. Oh man, just please don't have Roman pin the Fiend. The Fiend dropped the title. He didn't get pinned despite only holding on to it for a week. Reigns is the champion. I'm kind of intrigued to see where this goes. As long as it's not with Reigns and Wyatt, I don't want to see Reigns pin the Fiend. Just keep the Fiend out of the title picture now. Maybe have Reigns and Firefly Funhouse Bray feud. But nonetheless, cool little main event, couple cool little spots with the ring breaking and the table bumps. And I thank you guys for watching. Did you guys enjoy Payback? Tell me in the comments below, despite it coming from out of nowhere. I exposed my wall for the 3rd time today. But I thank you guys for watching. Did you enjoy Payback? Tell me in the comments below, what was your favorite match of the night? If I had to pick a match of the night, I'd probably go with the Mysterio tag match. It was pretty good. Lovely stuff. Decent pay-per-view. I'd give it probably 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. Pretty good, especially because they only had a week of proper build to it. I thank you guys for watching. Stay home and take care.